Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Please make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe down below. I know what you guys are gonna say. You're gonna say, Shantae, where have you been? Guys, it's been a lot going on, and I'm gonna catch you guys up and let you know what's going on. So let's start this video. So yeah, guys, like I said, a lot has been going on. Um, if you guys don't know, I am teaching in person. So I go to work every day. I teach in the Bronx, and it's been a lot. School started like literally right after Labor Day. We were teaching remotely online for a few until like the end or the beginning of October is when students started to come in. And let's just say that process was very nerve wracking. Our rosters were out of this world. It was crazy. Between me and my co teacher, we literally had 40 kids. And we're like, what? Why do we have so much? So, having to deal with that, having to figure out the space, we found out that we couldn't be in our old room that we were in. We ended up having to, they ended up putting us in the library. But because a particular teacher basically didn't want to give up her space, we ended up having to go to the gym. So we are teaching in the gym. Is it the best place? No. But because out of the whole, third grade, our class is considered the biggest class. So we have the most students, while other classes probably have about maybe 5 or 6 students. In the building right now, currently, it's me, my co-teacher, and another teacher. So 3 of us are in person. The rest of them are online teaching remote because they ended up having to have one of the teachers who was coming in for blended learning. She ended up having to go remote because we have a big third grade group, and a lot of the parents selected remote learning for their kids, so they needed to get another teacher to teach remotely. So it has been a lot of changes as far as teachers' rosters, what they were going to be teaching, and a lot of changes, or they've still have the hiring gap where they need more teachers in the schools. So we are still dealing with that as well. Even though Carranza said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be hiring more teachers," there's still a shortage. There's still a shortage. So, we've had like teachers having to teach third and fourth grade at different times. It's just been crazy. Like people have been going outside of what their actual job is and doing over the amount. So that has been very stressful. And then it's just like I'm just starting to build relationship with the students because we have students that are moving from remote so quickly, and then we have students that are either quarantining still and we haven't seen them, and they just came back into the building. And then you have students who families end up wanting them to go remote because they're watching the news. I've also became a secretary this year, guys. I think all of us as teachers, we've all became secretaries. I'm constantly calling parents, which I'm getting frustrated because when they see my number, they don't answer the phone. Um, because I'm constantly having to check in to kind of see like what's going on. Is everything okay? Your kid didn't come in for this whole week. Is everything all right? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you deciding? Remote or blended? So I'm constantly having to call and kind of check in. And our new principal that we have is really stressing to us that has teachers that we need to work on community outreach, reaching out to parents so they're comfortable to tell us, like, hey, if their child is sick, they're open and transparent with us to let us know any issues that they're having in the household. Um, has that worked? No. Um, you know, and the kids will tell you like, oh, I didn't know the schedule. My mom didn't want me to come to school today. Or like, oh, I know I had school today, but my mom had to go somewhere by my aunt's house. So my mom dropped me from my aunt's house, so I didn't come to school. Very transparent. We're just like, wow, really? Okay. One of those. Um, And then in terms of me, in terms personally with me, like um, it has been very stressful because I also am going to school. I started back up school again, and it has been very stressful. I've been very transparent with my professors, and they have been so understanding, um, and they really understand like this is a lot for teachers to deal with. So I have kind of like been behind on my assignments. I've been feeling bad. I've been feeling guilty because it's just like I'm dealing with work, and it's like by the time I get home, it's like I need to take a nap, and then it's like I'm in front of my computer again from like 7:10 to like 9 o'clock, or I'm in front of the computer from 4:30 to 7 o'clock, and then it's just like I'm super tired, or like I'm behind on my assignments, or my journaling, or all these other stuff, and I'm just like, listen, I just told my professor like it's really a lot going on right now. Like, please forgive me. But it really is a lot. So um, it's getting close to the end of the semester, and you know when it gets close to the end of the semester, you have like all these assignments. Like, you know, you're doing a case study, you're doing a classroom environment thing, and it's just like they want you to do hours. Like, you know, you still got to do your observation hours, and it's just like, listen, when I get to it is when I get to it. Like sometimes I really cannot even like leave my room to like go and observe a student real quick. So I've just had to be like very transparent with them and just be like, you know, I'm gonna try my best, but if I don't, here's what I got. If I don't end up getting the best grade, like I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it, but it's just like it's I'm trying, you know, give me the benefit of the doubt here. So like I try to be understandable when it comes to my students because um it really is a lot. So I try to be lenient to a certain extent, but I still want the work completed. Um, so yeah, that's what has been going on with school. And then back to work now. These COVID cases at work, uh, it gives me anxiety, frustration, because I understand on the HIPAA law, they're not allowed to reveal like who the person is. I understand that. But the fact of not knowing if you're around this person gives you anxiety because like you want to know, like, was I around them? You know, should I go get tested? Should I not? Should I come into work the next day? You know, and it's like you don't get any guidance from your principal because he can't tell you, oh, don't come to work. It's basically like up in the air. It's basically how you feel. If you feel like you was around a person and you don't want to come to work, you just answer the survey and just say yes, 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 yes. Now you got to quarantine for 2 weeks. So it's just like it's nerve wracking. We've had cases, and it's like you really don't know, or you have to question or ask yourself, and people are worried because they have their families. You know, some of them are taking care of their elderly parents. Many of the teachers, some of them have kids, or they just had newborns. You know, so they are very nervous. They are very skeptical. Um, However, we don't have that much people inside of the building, not as much, because a good chunk of our teachers are working from home. Like I'm on the third grade floor, and out of the whole third grade floor team, it's probably like three teachers on the floor, four, and we've normally had like the classes filled on the third floor, and it's only like maybe 4 or 5 teachers on the floor. So yeah, but you know, having to deal with that, I also had a incident very recent um, this past Friday where a student did not come in, and he ended up logging on to his mandated services that he gets, but he wasn't supposed to be on that day, and the teacher let him stay on, and he revealed to the teacher that he has COVID. Immediately, the teacher said the mom started talking to him in Spanish, basically upset, mad that he said that, and she called me immediately on the phone. and was like, what should I do? And I'm like, listen, this is the policy here. What you have to do, you should email them. They didn't get back to me and my coach teacher till like the middle of the day, and was like, oh well, we called mom. We told mom that basically the student cannot come back until they have a confirmed negative test. So until you get that test result, he cannot come back into the school building. So I immediately started getting nervous because I work with the gentleman um, very close at my kidney table. I do have on my mask as well as he has on his mask, but we are not 6 feet. We are very close to each other. So immediately I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I have to wait on upper guidance and wait. Basically, you have to play the waiting game to wait on his results. And then from there, once those results come back, the situation room lets you know what those next steps are. So you know, it's just really a lot, you know, and what makes me upset is that these parents are not being transparent. They're like, we all know COVID is a bad thing, but to them, they're like, oh well, my kid have COVID. I don't want nobody to know. Listen, parents, you have to understand your kids is in a room filled with other kids who have family as well. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these kids have newborn siblings or their mom just had a baby. Like, this is real stuff. Have some decency. Don't be selfish. You get what I'm saying? Don't be selfish. Let the school know so the school can take the proper precaution, or that classroom that your child is in and and getting mandated services in the building. They're going to speech, they're going to occupational therapy, they may be going to counseling. They are moving throughout the building. That's a lot of people to contact trace because your child is moving all over the flipping building. And then as a parent, you don't want to tell the school or the teachers. That is effed up. That is messed up. I'm sorry. That is very selfish. And that's the part that I don't like. Have some decency. The last thing I want is for a little boy to die or their mom or somebody else to die because my child was infected with COVID and I knew that as a parent and I still decided to send him to school, affect everybody else because, hey, I gotta go to work. How selfish can we be? Selfish. I really don't like that. I really don't like that. You know what? But I get it. Everybody's not like me. Some of these parents it's a lot. But the last thing I would want to do is infect somebody else or kill the teacher because I was being careless as a parent because I didn't care about other people. And now my child just lost their third grade teacher. You get what I'm saying? Like we got to do better. And I understand why our principal is really pushing for us to do that outreach so parents can feel comfortable. But some of them just don't give a hoot's what. They could care less. And it comes down from administration all the way down. They don't care about us as teachers. So we got to care about ourselves. We got to care about our family. The last thing I want to do is come home and bring this virus home to my brother. You guys know, my brother can't walk, talk. He has underlying health issues. Like, he's top risk. Like, heavily top risk. So if I bring that home and I give it to him, oh my God, I would not be able to live. I would not be able to live. So I've just been staying away. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this recent incident that, I'm waiting on this kid's result. I've definitely been away. Definitely been away. So that's the last thing I wanna do is infect my family. That's it. But these are stories that the news is not gonna talk about. They're not gonna tell you. Because it's all about keeping the doors open. So I could say my school stayed open for this certain amount of time and that amount of certain time. But we've had teachers whose um whose child was infected and had COVID, and they had to shut down that specific classroom for 2 weeks, and they had to do remote. And then the teacher ended up coming back, and that's when they had to do their results to confirm that they could come back. So it has been like a lot of that going on within the school, but it is very nerve wracking. So if I do have any parents on here, please just keep that in mind. Like, teachers are scared. We're worried. We have our lives too. So just try to talk to your teachers. Like, just be very open and transparent, and that it's okay. It's better to know than somebody dying or losing a friend or a loved one because your child was exposed and you decide to send them to school and expose everybody else. Just keep the child home. Plain and simple. So yeah, that has been one of it. So I know, like, when I talk to other teachers, the fact of them not knowing like who the possible person can be, whether it's like a staff member or a child, it has been very nervous for the teachers. But other than that, it's been going. Is teaching the same? No, because we're doing everything on Google Classroom. We do have the students like writing in their notebooks. We do guided reading on Kids A to Z. The kids are not allowed to bookshop. We don't have any of those things. Like I said, we're in the gym. So everything we have to do is on Google Classroom. Due to the fact that we're in the gym, I hate the echoing in the gym. It's annoying. It actually irritates one of my students very bad. He doesn't like the sound. The church bell is always ringing every hour. So can you imagine that? The cars are always beeping, for craziness. And you can hear every little thing. So it's annoying. Can we change the place where we're at? Nope. Because we have the most students here, about 14 students. Especially on our B and our A days. And it does rotate. Sometimes we'll see, maybe for week 1, we'll see the A group twice. And we'll see the B group more. And if we go to week 2, we'll see the A group more and we'll see the B group less. So it really kind of, it rotates. So sometimes we end up, when we're planning, when it's me and my other 2 coaches, when we're planning, we end up having to slow it down, or we have to catch this group up to that group. And because it's like when they go back home, it's like we don't see them until Friday. So it's like they're not going back to kind of like check the work that they did prior. So like we kind of have to keep them like up to date. Like, remember, this week you came, you did this, this, this. And then we have to like kind of go back, reteach, and then like get into the new lesson. Or we kind of have to question, like, should we stop? Should we wait? Should we do this next week? So we're constantly dealing with that when we are planning with each other. And yeah, I mean, as far as our 3rd grade team, we had like 4 of us in there, and it's less. It's just me and my other 2. So we're the only like blended in-person teachers. So we're planning every morning for 30 minutes and making phone calls, reaching out to families, and really just checking in. But that's how it's been, teaching in a pandemic, teaching blended learning. If anybody is teaching in person, I know there's like a few states that I was looking at. Some of you just went back into your building after teaching remotely from September or from August till now. Like, how do you feel about going back? Like, what are you nervous about? How's the experience been for you now that you left remote and now you're teaching in person? I would love for you guys to kind of share your responses down below in the comments and let me know. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please be safe. Remember that you come first. Teachers, remind yourself that you're doing the best that you can. And sometimes I need to tell myself that also as well. We are doing the best that we can in this pandemic, and that's all we can do. That's all we can do, and we come first. So it's always awesome talking to you guys. I wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.